these are our intros.
Yeah.
Introducing ourselves to everyone.
Yeah, and we actually recorded this video already once. We're still getting in the hang of making long format videos,
Yeah.
but we hope this brings you value, and we're excited to be here and talk about our life and
about
the work.
life, about challenges in life, about how to live well despite, inevitable adversity that we all face. I mean, life is fraught with challenges and difficulties and things that force us to turn inward and learn about ourselves. I think a lot of trauma or adversity can be great opportunities for self-discovery, or they can completely crush us and make us feel miserable. And the point is to share this together and to become better humans because of it. So my name is Aaron Baker, and I am so pleased to be joined by
Maria Catalan. Hi guys.
Hey, this is our first attempt at just connecting with you. Really just sharing our stories, who we are, where we came from, what led us to this point in our own journeys through life. I'm turning 45 next week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, January 23rd is my birthday.
Yeah.
So I've been around the block a couple times. I've experienced profound life-changing trauma. Over 2 decades ago, I broke my neck. I was a professional athlete. I was chasing my dream of being a champion aboard a motorcycle. And I loved that as a little boy. The sport taught me a lot. But I had an accident, as many do. And I broke my neck and was instantly paralyzed. Paralyzed from the chin down. My entire body, like flipping the light switch on the wall, just shut off. And that was really, really difficult because my entire identity was formed around my physical abilities. My personality was very physical. I was very physically humorous. You know, if you imagine, what was his name from SNL? He was super physical comedian. In Tommy Boy.
Like?
Tommy Boy.
I don't know.
Not John Candy. I keep thinking John Candy, but anyways, we can cut all this. Anyways, just
No, we won't cut it. We won't cut it.
But my humor was really physical, and my body was so strong. And when that's all taken away, I mean, I can't tell you the depths of despair I found myself in, to the point of wanting to commit suicide. Honestly, I didn't want to be here. If I couldn't express myself physically, then who am I?
That makes sense.
You know, so life was shattered. And then the ripple effect of that, you know, throughout my family and my friends and my community, what that did. And the darkness that I was experiencing was almost like a vortex. Like it drew others in to this really, desperate place. And that experience was really profound, Maria. Like it really shifted me. When I got to that point of almost taking that final step, an immense transformation just occurred in my perspective.
That was your...
That was when I sat in my wheelchair like this at the edge of a swimming pool. And
so that was after the near-death experience.
Well, the near-death, if we can circle back, that's a whole other story. And that, my near-death experience, if we want to go into that, we will. But just the darkness is a place, it's like the bottom that you can push up from. And I just want to, in this process of sharing our lives and our story, I want to give others permission that that's okay to be in that space. And that space is actually a really beautiful place to know yourself.
Yeah.
And to feel life fully.
Yeah, I was looking through our notes last night in preparation for this chat,
Yeah.
and I realized a common theme, even though you and I have very different backgrounds and kind of our awakening came from different places, we both found our purpose through the pain. And I think that is so true and important because it sucks, I know, but huge, like moments of clarity and purpose do come from that inevitable pain that we all suffer.
We all suffer.
And that can be like just a little light, a little lantern in the darkness, to encourage people to. It's hard to say be grateful for the pain because I wouldn't use that word. I think there's a better word that we can look for, but to know that there's an opportunity there for something good to come out of that. To like make it right. You know what I mean? To make it worth all that you're going through.
Yeah.
So
to be purposeful.
So tell us about the pool.
Well, the pool.
Purpose, pain, pool.
Yeah, sitting at the edge of a pool, standing at the edge of a cliff, or holding a weapon. Like being in that place is like you're so fragile, and you're so close to the abyss. For me, everything was black. My mind was so dark there wasn't even a flicker. But just before I made that final choice, there was a spark in my mind. It was the glimmer of my mother's eyes, like this memory of this infinite love that she had given me, or my grandmother, like these powerful women in my life that just flickered like this candle. And it was enough to pull myself back away from the edge of that swimming pool, turn around, completely break down and sob and scream at the sky and just be so frustrated and angry. But that was okay because they were real, raw emotions that I was letting go of.
Yeah.
And when I let that go and I surrendered, it was a peaceful, powerful place. And that's where I turned myself around and started to move and live forward and let go of the past and surround myself with other like-minded, like-hearted people who they too are suffering and just trying to do their best to navigate the world and life and find meaning and purpose. So that's where we, all that led us to this moment now.
Yeah.
Purpose in the pain.
I think your story is incredible, and like it's very evident that you had a clear choice, right? And you were kind of forced to make a choice. And I think if we can touch people that are living similar stories like me, where maybe there's not like a massive traumatic accident or anything like that, but the choice seems harder because it's not forced upon you. You have to kind of like make your mind go, it's like start the journey of the path to making those choices, and those choices become easier. But what would you say to someone that's like, hey, like I get it, but I just can't make the choice yet, or like I can't make the first step?
I don't know. I have a lot of respect and admiration for people like you, Maria, who are consciously making, intentional choices to discover yourself, to transcend pain and suffering. Like you said, mine was inflicted on me without my choice. It was an accident. It was a slap in the face, hit by a bus type scenario.
Yeah.
And it gets really simple, binary at that point, where it's either live or die, move forward or remain.
Don't. Mm-hmm.
But for you, you've navigated this with conscious choices and decisions. And what I would say is you have to be willing to do this. Your unwillingness to change or to do something differently is what holds you back. It's a creative block. But for you, you have intentionally decided that you do not want to repeat the old behavior or the pattern. You do not want to remain in that space of pain and suffering, a cycle that is predictable, that will perpetuate over and over throughout the rest of your life if you don't choose another path, and you have, and you continue to. And that's what I love. And I know that we can help others do the same.
We can. And we're going through it every day. Choices every single day.
Honestly, that is the key to everything right there, Maria, is every day. We are not recovered. We're not healed. This isn't past tense. This work wasn't done and completed. It is work and it is exercise and practice now. Every waking moment, we face those choices. And life isn't just this trajectory of progress. Life is this wild and woolly road of, you know,
and I'm taking back to the past all the time. Those trigger moments. I hate to use that word, triggering.
but it's true.
But it's the truth. And it takes me back to, sometimes I feel like I'm back to being 8 years old, not knowing my place in the world. And then now, where I'm at now, the way I'm seeing like time and how I really do believe everything's happening in a circle all at once. I can send back that 8-year-old a little hug, a little love from this space. And I know she feels it. So, and vice versa. Sometimes when I'm lacking a little like empathy or like innocence, I can pull from that Maria. It's very interesting. We'll talk about like timelines and everything in another video.
Oh, there's so much to talk about and unpack.
Oh, one of our cameras just shut off.
But
that's the nature of starting this channel, this conversation.
Channel, yeah. Well, I think tell us more about you and your path and the process that you go through, you know, then and now. Yeah.
So I my background is, I feel like it's a very common story where I'm from, which is Miami, Florida. Lots of immigrants from Hispanic countries, and Hispanic families have certain toxic tendencies that, you know, are recurring themes in many people that I know personally. But my family came over from Venezuela. I was 3 years old and my parents were separated at the time. So I was really trying to navigate the complexities of being an only child, having an estranged father, and also coming to this brand new country and trying to find my place in the world. That was pretty difficult. I had to grow up pretty fast. And now I'm grateful for like the independence and the maturity. And I know that that's instrumental to the choices I made along the way. But it was very much a trauma response. Like, it's not something that, you know, when I start having kids, I want them to be kids as long as possible. I think that innocence is also needed. And part of my journey has been kind of gaining back that innocence that I, in a way, feel like was robbed. I didn't have the ability to live a carefree life because I felt very responsible for emotions and behaviors that were going around me. That was the only way. If I could control emotions and behaviors of my mom and my immediate family, that I could feel some type of safety and security. That sucks, but I mean, it is my background. And then I've really been able to turn that around by finding my voice, my place, my purpose through choices. And it came from a dark night of the soul, but I'm here now, and I really want my legacy to be the transformation that I was able to break all those generational traumas that were holding me back. I was able to really find myself again and love myself. And my personal TikTok channel is all about self-love and that specific journey, which I think is the one that I'm most practiced in.
Well, I know you're a light for a lot of people.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. I mean, I feel like that's part of my purpose. That's what I found out, is that I want to share things. I'm creative and artistic in so many ways, and even just talking about this with you is a way for me to get my message across. And it's art into the world, and I'm here for it.
Well, I think we've talked about this before, but you're, in essence, a really creative person.
Yeah.
You are an artist by nature, and this is the creative process. For me personally, I found extraordinary purpose in this process of sharing, you know, all the sharing my vulnerability, you know, my secrets and my, you know, insecurities, and the process that from the outside I make a spinal cord injury look pretty easy, but it's really hard. Like the physical
Yeah.
struggle itself is challenging, but then the emotional roller coaster of it, and then relationships, and then professionally, and all the different aspects of life are extraordinarily challenging, but I find so much purpose in sharing it because I'm not alone. I know there's so many other people that feel in a similar way or are going through struggles in a similar way. And if we just can relate to each other and connect again, it makes the ride worth it. And I think we're really lucky to be here and now and have this opportunity to do this with each other.
One thing that you say again and again, and I love it, and I'm starting to like really live it in the daily moments of finding micro gratitude, that we get to do that. Like, I get to wake up, I get to go to work, I get to brush my teeth, like, I get to have contacts because I wear glasses. Like, all these things, like, finding the gratitude really, really helps the journey.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does.
And I said micro gratitude because if you can't find the gratitude for, like, your bigger picture of life, like, honestly, just, like, I can brush my teeth today, you know, like, I have a restroom, and I have food in my fridge, and
a roof over our head,
and have some support. You know,
Yeah.
it might be one person, but
even if it's one person or an animal, even, or just connecting to nature, like, just sit quietly and recognize your presence here. We are on a rock hurtling through the vast expanse of space, and we're conscious. We are here and now experiencing this miracle that is life. And it's only for a blip in the spectrum of time, or our concept of time.
So why don't we share a little bit about why and what we aim to achieve with our channel, and maybe a little sneak peek of what we'll be talking about, this method that Aaron is working on, that we feel like is the small reminders or cues to help you kind of move through that transformation of pain and then to purpose.
Yes, well, our channel is called New Mind. P-N-E-U-M-I-N-D. It's an amalgamation of two words, pneuma, which is the stoic, creative spirit of a person, and mind, which is what we embody. Our channel is here to help you think, move, and manifest your way through adversity. That's essentially what we're here to share. It's what we practice every single day. There's been a simple, reoccurring motif in my life that I've deduced down to a single word, which is an acronym. It's called BASICS, B-A-S-I-C-S. And I've broken those letters into two parts of three. Being before doing. So the B-A-S stands for the breath, or the beginning. I like to start with a beginner's mind, with humility and vulnerability, and focus on the breath. The A is cultivating our awareness. Our attention or energy flows where our attention goes. And so how do we really cultivate a higher state of awareness? And the S is to surrender. To become present and mindful and, like you said, grateful. So we being first, and then the second part is the doing, the action. That's where the magic happens. That's where we start to actually manifest and change things. And that is I, the inspiration, the little spark in the darkness that comes to us. It's the invocation of an intention, a thought, a dream, a hope, an aspiration. We initiate that. There are layers to these lessons. The next one is C. It's the commitment to a choice we make. Those consistent, committed choices that's where it really happens. That's where you start to transform adversity. That's where you start to manifest what's in your heart and mind and create it as tangible reality.
Yeah, it's when you start to live that life.
Exactly.
It's all been physically manifested. You're in it.
And the final letter is S, and that's to be of service. It's to share this process. And for me, purpose found me. I didn't find purpose. It's when you avail yourself and you expose your vulnerability and you create authentic connections with each other that you discover a purpose-filled life. You create meaning out of the experience.
So in a way, would you say this channel is the sharing, the last step from the basics method of this transformation, and now we're putting it out to inspire and share our journey with everyone else to help them on theirs. So this channel is kind of like been taken through the basics as well.
That's what it is.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is where I think you and I feel most purposeful.
Yeah.
We are living these things. We would not share them if we did not embody them completely.
Yeah, and I also want to say that we're going through the basics every day in different areas of our lives. And we might be at the end for this channel, but I feel very much in like my physical journey of trying to find like health and fitness. I'm in the beginning. Like I'm still in the surrendering part of that journey. So it's like basics can be used in every aspect of your life just to help you move through beginning to kind of like a completion, and inevitably it goes back to the beginning.
That's it.
Once you're there.
Well, like you said, life is cyclical. Everything is revolving. Start and finish. It's always going in a spiral motion. So I'm constantly applying different aspects of the basics method throughout my day,
Right.
moment to moment, always, continuously. That's why it's so simple. So it's applicable. They are mind seeds, we call them. Those letters are little seeds that are basically reminders. So that when we're stuck in traffic and we're pissed off and we're frustrated or, overwhelmed, we can pause for a moment, take a breath,
Yeah.
humble ourselves, and recalibrate so that we can make a better choice, make a better decision, to choose a different path, so that we don't have to sit and suffer.
What I think is so cool is that we met very recently, and I just learned about the basics method by meeting you because you're in the process of creating it. But I can say that in my journey, I had the similar steps already laid out. Like that's just the process that I personally took to move through my pain and to find my place in this huge universe. And we like collided, and you told me about the basics method, and I was like, whoa, that's like exactly what I did. So it's like it is like universal knowledge just kind of being explained in simple steps that you can remember, that you can carry with you everywhere you go. I think that's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really new or novel. It's just how do we take these complex like concepts and philosophies and theories and make them really just simple and applicable to life? A lot of us don't have the time to just sit and just study and try to, learn more information. It's more like, how do we behave differently? How do we have these little cues, these little like reminders to help us, change? That's, I deal with way too much pain and way too much stuff inside already. I don't need to like add more. I need less. So I think that's the essence and the genesis of this simple methodology is keep it simple. Simplicity is style.
Yeah, it's definitely a tool, and a tool you can use or not use.
Yeah.
But I personally believe that using the basics method is kind of like a support system to help you not sit in that darkness for so long.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us choose to sit in darkness longer than we need to.
Sure.
For me, at least, it was feeling identity and like feeling like the only narrative that I fit in was my darkness, my pain, all the issues that I was going through. And it really takes a choice to get out of it. And the basics helps you make that choice. It helps you change, like you said.
Yeah.
So I think it's valuable. I think people will really, really, really find that it's helped them reach their dreams and live the life that they deserve to live.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The life that's inside them. How to bring that out. So we will have a book soon. We're nearing the end of the It Works, the basics method. It's the synergy between being and doing. So that book will be out soon, and we can't wait to share it with you. We will be breaking down that book into courses online through the New Mind platform. So stay tuned. Stay with us on this channel. We are eager to share with you all, to be transparent with our own processes, to have these kinds of conversations which are just really off the cuff and authentic, and it's not highly produced. This is just us in a room,
No.
I wish we had a cup of tea.
We'll add that. We want to bring in tea time so that we can kind of ground in with a little tea ceremony and chat about what we're drinking, kind of get us in the flow, because this is new for me. Aaron's a very public, motivational speaker, and he's practiced many times.
Not really. I'm
not
always
great at this, but
I think that's what makes it fun.
It does, yeah.
Right,
And then we can grow together. I love that, because now maybe I have to apply the method for being here with you guys and being able to share and be vulnerable without feeling nervous.
Let's just be.
Yes.
We're not overly practiced in any of this. We're just living our best lives to the best of our ability, really.
Yeah.
That's the intention. Every day we wake up and make the choice to be here. So I think showing up is the first step. You hear that, it's cliche, but honestly, we have shown up.
We have shown up, and it's just not worked out yet.
Yeah, so, but this is, I am a recovering quadriplegic, and the methodology has allowed me to actually transcend prognosis, the 1 in a million chance that doctors gave me of ever being able to feed myself. I was supposed to be completely dependent for the rest of my life, but since then I can activate my body and experience life on my own 2 feet again. I can give a hug. I can extend a handshake. I can experience this life in a way that I was told I would never. And so I am the expression of this work, truly. And that's, I think, something you and I are adamant about. And if we're going to be talking about this stuff, we need to be living this work. And I'm really passionate about just living the words we speak. So
yeah,
there's so much more we're excited to share. Stay tuned to our social channels. We will be bringing you.
Yeah, we'll link everything, but we have Instagram, TikTok. This is our YouTube channel, Facebook channel probably to come, website. But yeah, follow us for more if you like this type of content. We'll be posting on a regular basis. And what should they share with us in the comments? I love when creators talk about share in the comments, because I love to see the comments in every video that I watch. I run to the comments. I'm always like, what is this person saying? And I want to start a conversation and want you to know that you're the most important part of this channel, of this messaging that we're sharing. It's all about you. So what should we ask them? What do we want to know? Maybe where they're from, where they're watching from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool to know. Like,
be vulnerable with us. I mean, it makes us feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
If you guys just engage with us, and what would you like to hear more of?
Yeah.
As we share, aspects of the methodology of our personal lives, what else would you like to hear from us? I would like to know what kind of traumatic experiences you've lived, through, or that you're going through now. Be vulnerable and transparent. It gives us more permission to expose our own lives more.
Yeah, maybe what part of the basics method do you think you're in now? And when we get to that portion of it, maybe you can identify and relate a little more to that video. And what teas should we start drinking? What should we start off
Drink
with?
some teas. I mean, this morning it was coffee, but actually I love yerba mate.
Yerba mate. You have told me that you love
Yeah.
yerba mate. I have never tried it.
There's my
It
board
looks
right there.
it looks interesting and very herby.
Maybe we have a
But I'll
yerba
give
mate.
it a shot. Yeah, we'll have to do yerba mate one of
Okay.
these. Yeah, that's like Argentinian.
Mhm.
Yeah. Shout out to Argentina.
Boom.
Thank you guys. All
Well,
right,
this is
I think
fun.
we're done. Good job.